Yeah, that's a little too Hermione Granger for me. Hello, my name is Christina. This channel is called Terrific Writing, and it is all about me trying to write the first draft of my novel by March of 2022. I've been working on it for about 10 years and I've made like no headway to finally write it or to get it published or anything like that, so I definitely want to do it this year, in a year, and I'm filming a bunch of videos about me trying to learn to get better as a writer and me to actually write the book, because that's part of publishing the book is you have to write it. So I'm trying to do that. If you'd like more information about me and about the book and about why I'm doing this, you can watch my first video, which is like an introduction to all that stuff, and I'm pointing up here because I think I can put some sort of fun animation up here. That'll be a link. You can go to that video and watch that, and then you can come back here and watch this video, and that will make me very happy. So this is my first writing vlog. Very exciting. In the middle of this, you know? You can also do that floss dance, but it's not 2017 and no one wants to see that. So I thought I would start off with what I'm writing, a little bit of background on the project that I'm working on. It is a novel, I think, in the thriller genre, and I don't think I need to go through like every single plot point. I think it might be a little bit boring, but the general sense of the story is if you put like The Sopranos and Watergate together, put those together, that would be my little book. We have a mafia family, we have sibling relationship fights, we have romance, we have lawyers, we have a corrupt government. It's all in there, and I hope that it's good. And you might be asking yourself, why is this tiny childlike woman who's dressed like a Skittle telling me that she's writing a violent mafia novel? And my answer to that is that I have no answer. It's what the imagination came up with. I'm just as clueless as you are. What are we doing today in this writing vlog? Well, actually, this is a rewriting, editing, review vlog, really. To my great excitement, last Wednesday I sat in this chair for 5.5 hours and I wrote like 6,000 words of my prologue, which is the very beginning. I have already written this scene, but I definitely wanted to rewrite it and make it a little bit better. I also felt like it wasn't very exciting, and I know that the first few pages are very important and I wanted them to be really exciting, so I rewrote it, added a little bit of spice, made the stakes a little bit higher. Hopefully it's a little bit more exciting now. I wanted to go through all of that and try to edit it and make it the best that it can be, kind of clean up grammar and all those split infinitives that I'm sure are in there. All the punctuation problems, they're all in there, and we're gonna say hello to them and then we're gonna get them out. And so you might say to yourself, Christina, you wrote 6,000 words, super duper. It's not super duper, because I've already run into problems. We're already in a crisis here. And I'll tell you about my crisis. I got way ahead of myself, as one often does, and I started watching videos where agents were talking about what they look for in a manuscript when people send them things asking those agents to represent them. And I came across a video, I think it was like a panel of like six or five agents, and if I remember what it is, I'll put it in the description box, a link to it, and they were all talking about things that they see in manuscripts that they do not like, that they know that they instantly want to yeet that manuscript out the window and not represent that person because it's, you know, written poorly, and things that they look for, that's like a red flag. Like 4 of the agents said prologues, just in general. If it has a prologue, they won't even read it. But my 5 hours, my 6,000 words, it's 14 whole pages. What? Now, mind you, if the point of writing a book at which you need to get an agent is like New York, I'm in like India. I am somewhere very far away from that, from getting an agent or needing an agent. I haven't even written the book. I need to write the book first. I just watch these videos to humor myself, and sometimes they have pretty good advice in them. I definitely want this book to be like commercially acceptable and for people to actually read it and enjoy it. And I know that after a certain point, like when I'm done writing this and I actually do want to, you know, start to send it to agents and see if anyone is interested, it becomes much less like my baby and my art creative project and more of like a product. So I definitely don't want to include, you know, something that makes it unsellable or something that's kind of out of vogue for writing, but it still makes me quite sad because I really liked the idea I had for the prologue, and I think it added something extra and kind of interesting to the book. So here's my getting all ready here. Here's my elevator pitch of why I think this prologue is cool. And if it's not cool, please tell me in the comments. Don't hurt my feelings too much, but I thought this was a pretty good idea. So one of the main plot points in my novel is the relationship between my main character and his younger brother. So I thought in the prologue I could show a few scenes when they're younger, when they have a really good relationship, and then when the book jumps, 8 years later and the first chapter starts, it's apparent that the two have a very estranged relationship now. The relationship has soured and fallen apart, and they don't talk to each other, and they haven't seen each other in a long time. I thought that this would be kind of intriguing for the reader. They'd kind of be like, oh, like, that's different. What happened? What's the tea? I thought they would want to know. It would be an intriguing plot point for the beginning of the book. I think the main argument of these agents was that it's a little too jarring and jumpy, or maybe even confusing for the reader to get established in one time period with one plot line and setting and characters, and then instantly jump a really big amount of time to the first chapter when the book starts, which is exactly what my book does. There's 8 years in between the prologue and the first chapter. So I don't know if it's confusing or if it's, creating that interest that I think it is. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that. Also couldn't really tell from that video or other kind of Googling that I did if prologues have just kind of fallen out of vogue with writing. They're like flared jeans. They're just not in anymore. Or if it's yeah, we've moved past prologues. We're not doing those anymore, and they just universally don't work for any book. So I'm really not sure what to do. I know that if I keep it in and I edit it today, which is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna edit it and try to make it the best that it can be. And even if when I continue to write the rest of the book, if I delete it, it really won't change a ton of the plot. So even if I end up deleting it or it shouldn't be there, I can just kind of say goodbye to it, and that'll be okay. So maybe I'm wasting my time today. I don't know, but why not waste our time? We've been wasting our time for 10 years. Why don't we do a little bit more wasting sometime? Maybe I would write this book faster if I was nicer to myself. Before I write this prologue, I would also like to say that I did the writerly thing and I had myself a time in CVS, and I got some new stationery. So exciting. Yay. I used to use, I think it was Google Keep. I have some terrible Chromebook, and it had Google Keep on it for all of my ideas during the day. If I had an idea for a scene or a setting or something like that, I would type it out in Google Keep. But I've decided that I think I want to write, I want to handwrite things. I'm a writer. I like stationery. Might as well have an excuse to buy some. So I like this little notebook. It has 3 sections. The first section, I've made my little list of just random scene ideas or things that I want to make sure that I remember. So I've already had 2 ideas, so exciting. And then the second section, I made a to-do list. So I actually, when I was done writing the prologue that I'm just about to edit, I kind of did a brain dump of all the things that I think were wrong with it, because I'm nice to myself. And I did a list of things that I need to correct, or things I need to add in or take out, or kind of polish up. So that's great. I haven't decided what I'm going to use the 3rd section for. Any suggestions, let me know. Also, this is just becoming a stationery haul. What is a CVS trip if you don't buy fun sticky notes? Hey, way too expensive, but why not, Also, I just want to add in that I make playlists in my free time on Spotify, as if I didn't already procrastinate enough. And there's a link in the description box where you can go listen to them, because I am very obsessed with listening to specific music when I'm writing. And if you are writing some sort of scary thriller, crime, fantasy, scary novel like I am, you can go listen to that. Maybe it'll help. You'll like it, and I think you should try it out, because I work really hard on those playlists and no one listens to them. So yeah, we have Aldi trail mix, we have water, we have headphones to listen to those Spotify playlists. Let's go in. I just realized that this whole time-lapse video, you're just going to get a nice side profile of my large Italian nose. So you can go ahead and enjoy that. interrupt this time lapse for an interesting tidbit. Google has just informed me that the phrase sleight of hand, that sleight, is not like the normal way you spell sleight, like S-L-I-G-H-T. Oh no, it's apparently S-L-E-I-G-H-T. That's a whole new word. Look at that. So, it's a little bit later in the evening. I have read and done my little edits to all 13 pages of this prologue. A lot of the edits that I usually have to do for myself are like explaining information. I do a lot of like half sentences, or I'll reference people or things or ideas that I haven't really fully explained, and it gets confusing, just because it makes sense in my head, but it wouldn't make sense to a random person reading it. So that's usually a lot of the edits that I have to do. I think it's in okay shape, but like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't even know if prologues are like okay anymore. I don't want to be like, is this like the Gen Z side part, middle part thing, where like I have a side part and I think I'm cool, but all the agents have middle parts and they're like, ugh, we don't do that anymore. I don't know. Another aspect of this prologue is part of the spicing up that I did between the version that I just edited and the original time that I wrote down, like the whole idea was I included like a fist fight, and the way that I write action scenes is so sad and confusing and not good. So I think that's going to be one of my like research and experiment videos, is I'm going to see if I can improve on writing action scenes or like fist fights and stuff like that, because I have a lot of it in this darn book and I don't know how to write them. It just seems a little bit confusing. And thank you for joining me on my first writing vlog. This was a lot of fun. I think it's nice that I'm able to like talk to somebody while I'm doing this, and I'm not like sitting here in the dark in my pajamas being like Wade from Kim Possible, just a little dark hole with my computer. If you could like and comment or subscribe if you want to, because next week we're gonna do a little research and experiment type video where I try out all kinds of different writers' routines, and I watch a bunch of videos, do a bunch of research, and I tell you what I end up doing is when the best time for me to write is, and also kind of developing my word count goals and all of that jazz. So that will be a lot of fun. You'll want to subscribe to that. So stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll meet again soon.